See it doesn't happen.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Show Little City Council to order. Show that all council members are present with the exception of Councilman Clark, who has to be excused tonight. Tonight, I've asked Councilman Whipple to lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge by Councilman Judge. If you guys like to stand and join us, you may do so.
Our dear Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee this evening, we are grateful for the opportunity that we have to meet as a city council. And we are grateful for the city staff that has put this meeting together. We're also grateful for the holiday season that we have upon us. And at this time, ask Thee to help us to recognize the needs of others. We ask Thee to help us to have a good, productive meeting. And these things we pray for in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Whipple, Councilman Judd. That was amazing, by the way. Man, I didn't say a word. It was all behind me, but thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. We got a long meeting tonight. We're going to celebrate some great athletes. Some singers are going to sing to us. We're going to pin our new police chief. So there's a lot going on tonight. After each event that we do, you guys all take a couple minutes so you can leave. Unless you want to stick with us tonight, we'll be here about 2.5, 3 hours. So you're well. I didn't think that was funny. We have to be here. You trust us to run your city, okay? We'll do it. All righty, next item on the agenda is call to the public. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the City Council may do so at this time. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person and shall be addressed to the City Council as a whole and not to any individual member. Issues raised shall be limited to those within the jurisdiction of the City Council. Pursuant to the Arizona Open Meeting Law, the City Council cannot discuss or act on items presented at this time. At the conclusion of the call of the public, individual City Council members may respond to criticism made by those who have spoken, ask staff to review a matter, or ask that matter be put on a future agenda.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I do have one. Chief Chevalier, AKA Chevy.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council, goodness gracious, yes, I didn't see the marking over here either, so what an amazing turnout. Yes, the exits are to my right, but yeah, we're good.
The mask drops down, go ahead and put it on the baby first. Yeah, we know that. Okay.
I just wanted to come and I've been meaning to do this for some time. I actually want to make my rounds to several different towns, the county, obviously the city of Show, the school district. But with the recent fatalities that Timber Mesa suffered through September and October, I could not say enough about this community and about the city of Show. The support that this entity provided us through the tragic losses was second to none and amazing. I love this place with just all my heart, and everything that we went through was just trying not to get a little bit emotional. I apologize, and that was part of my hesitancy of even wanting to come and kind of speak on it, just because it's kind of a tough topic. But everything that you guys provided was amazing. From your new police chief, your outgoing police chief, both those individuals are definitely mentors of mine and took good care of me. Grace Payne and all of her staff, with all the videography that they took place, was phenomenal. And so, from the bottom of my heart, our chairman, Jamie Adams, is here with me. On behalf of Timber Mesa, we just want to say thank you all so much for your love, compassion, and support. And you guys make this place a great place to live, a great place to be part of. And I'll be forever grateful for everything you provided me, my staff, and everything you provide on a regular basis. So thank you all so much. I truly appreciate you all.
Thank you, Chevy, our chief. Let's just hope and pray that we don't have to go through that in our community again. It was, I couldn't even address, my crew went over and served lunch to the fire guys one day, and I asked to address them. I retired from the fire department, so they mean a lot to me, and I couldn't do it. Every time I see Chevy or Randy, chief, we'd get emotional. You know, I got a long history with the chief here. I was on the hiring board as the first firefighter in Show. I was on the board to hire him, not fire him.
It's all your fault.
Hire him, and now he's our chief. He's done a great job, and Chevy, I hope none of us have to go what you've gone through, but you were the right person in that place to keep your department together 100%. So great job on your part, too.
I appreciate that. Thank you all so much.
All righty, next item on the agenda is under special events. We don't have any more call the public, correct? I don't have any. Is Mrs. Whipple, you guys are going to give us a little number. This is going to be awesome. You got to lead them up here because they're like cattle. They don't know where to go. They're like, where do we face? Where do we go? We're close.
All right, so we came tonight, we missed you at the end of November and to announce Feast of Carols, which we just finished last week. We want to thank the community for their support of that. We had 3 amazing shows. This was the best Feast of Carols we have ever had. So a tribute to these kids that are behind me that put in hours of work for that show. It was year 41, and it really was the best one. So we are here tonight to do a little bit of Christmas caroling, to spread some Christmas cheer to the city, and for those who miss Feast of Carols, to just give them a little bit of a number. So we're going to sing a little bit of Away in a Manger, and then we're going to sing We Wish You a Merry Christmas. So thanks for letting us be here.
Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the sky looked down where he lay. The Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. Away, stay on my cradle till morning is gone. Away, away, away.
Lord Jesus, I ask thee to stay close by me forever and love me, I pray. Bless all the dear children in thy tender and tender care.
And fit us for heaven to live with thee. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings to you wherever you are. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I don't know how you do it every single year. These kids are amazing.
I have great kids, that's how we do it.
That's incredible.
It was beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Anybody want to sing? After that? Probably not, huh? Next item on the agenda is recognition of the Show Low Junior High School softball team. Mr. McNeil.
So I just want to thank you for this opportunity. You guys always do a good job of recognizing the young athletes of our town, and these girls worked really, really hard to achieve a goal. We weren't quite sure about midway through if we'd make it, but when they came together and played their best, there was no chance. They really just kind of walked through the end of the tournament and took it home. So it was pretty cool. Proud of them.
What was their record?
I don't know.
You don't know?
3 losses, 2 losses?
Tied one.
Oh, seemed like 3 losses. Lost 1, tied 1, and won 7, I think. 7-1-1 or 8-1-1.
Well, congratulations. I think I told you earlier, we have some great athletes up here. We do this, I've been sitting up here since 2010, and we do this every year, which is awesome. But we have a little T-shirt for you. So you're going to have to, now that you're all here, we'll kind of yell your name out and hand you a shirt.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Sorry about the bombardment.
That's all right.
So the first one that we have is for Evelyn.
Evelyn, I'd throw it to you, but I'm afraid you'd drop it.
The next one is Maddie. Maddie,
I gave her the wrong B. Well, I'm going to give it to her now. I thought I gave that to her. Okay, go ahead.
Sherry,
Sherry. I could probably throw it to you if I could catch.
Mikkel, Dallas. Okay, we'll just give it to Danny.
Okay.
Leanna. There she is.
Are you late? I don't like people showing up to my meetings late, but no. Congratulations.
She's teasing. Don't scare her.
Ask anybody out there.
Sophie. There we are.
Oh, I could have probably thrown it to you too.
Cambry. Piper. Now, is this one Evelyn or Eveline? Evelyn? Evelyn. We gave her hers.
I already gave her hers.
Eveline. Lily.
Lily.
Shanlon. Kinsley.
You dinner, it sounds like.
Riel. Marty.
Try yelling that on the field and see who comes up.
Izzy.
Yeah. Oh, it's a purple hand. Pink hand.
Avi. Emmeline. Simone. Then we have something for the coaches right here.
Yeah, I'll give it to him when he comes back by. We got your stuff here, T-shirts. You guys want to turn around, we'll gather up. Anybody want to take pictures, run up now, please. Go crowd in. Crowd in. We're trying to get in the middle. Hey, we need a new flag.
This way.
It's not a professional. It's not a professional photo.
You guys want to?
Slide this way.
Players.
We're supposed to go number one?
You guys were number one.
Number one.
Hold up to number one.
Congratulations. Coach. You almost forgot already. Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Great job. New Year to you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Good job.
I love you. 2.5 hours.
I'll call you when we get done. Taking a nap. All righty, next item on the agenda is recognition of our Citizen Academy graduates. Mrs. Payne.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Holy moly, we're clear in the room. Well, thank you very much for your time this evening. I won't take up much of it, but tonight we are going to graduate our citizens from our Citizens Academy. For the second year in a row, I have been privileged to lead citizens from the city of Show Low, and in this case, from the White Mountain area through our Citizens Academy. This year, we led 12 citizens for 5 Tuesdays through the month of October through our academy. And what we do is, with the help of our directors and our managers, we take our citizens through an in-depth look at what local government looks like and how it tends to be so much more than what public perception might lead it to be. And we get to have a wonderful open dialogue with our citizens. They get to ask us questions, and we spend 90 minutes with them and go over what our day-to-day looks like and all of the projects that we work on, roads projects, aquatic center projects, parks and recreation, truly the in-depth nuts and bolts that we do. And trust me, 90 minutes is not nearly enough time with the questions that our citizens ask us, and they were begging for more after 5 weeks. So I'll pause now if you have any questions before I ask our citizens to come up here and we graduate them, but I'd like to just recognize them and recognize our directors for the time that they carved out in their evenings to move through this program, and we are truly looking forward to 2026.
Well, we have plenty of time tonight. We can finish their questions that they wanted to ask.
That's a very dangerous offer because, like I said, they were so enthusiastic. Some of them even asked me if they could take the course again.
Every year.
Every year.
Every year. Good. Anybody have any questions? No, let's bring them up here.
Wonderful. So, citizens, when I call your name, if you would stay with us, because what we'd like to do is graduate you, and then we'd like to have a photo op with council. Marissa Graves. Join us. Ashley Schmidt. We have a few who may have had prior engagements. Brett Palmer.
More priorities than us?
I don't dare answer that question. Mr. Palmer. Ruth Edmark. Jennifer Butterbroot.
I need those names when we're done.
Tim Flanagan. Tawny Reed. Christopher Reed. two of my most engaged citizens. Claire Thomas, who I have to share the footnote was not only a citizen, but she was also a presenter. Sarah Simpson. Melody Diaz. And Diane Anderson. Citizens were not normally this tardy.
That's pretty good if you got them to show up for class.
I know, but graduation. Miles, will you come take a photo of them?
I think it's perfect.
Gotta get the mirror. Okay, there we go.
Wide angle on it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, thank you guys very much.
Thank you, citizens. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for doing that academy. I know when we first kicked this off this year, I don't think we had 1 or 2 people signed up, and so we extended a couple more weeks, and you had a dozen. So thank you, Grace, and everybody at the city for doing that. Okay, we're going to skip the next item. I don't think anybody's here for the presentation of the new police chief, so we'll go to next item on the agenda. I'll turn it over to city manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'll ask Chief Westover if he'll come up here with me. Since I got to be up here, he can stand by my side.
Good idea.
So I just wanted to give you a little background on Chief Westover. We're glad to have him with us. After a competitive process, he was been selected as our new police chief and started about a week ago. But a little bit about a background about Chief Westover. He has 24 years of law enforcement experience. He did 20 years with the Phoenix Police Department before coming to Sholo, where he has served the last 4 years. Greg's connection to our community and region runs deep. He was raised in Joseph City, and his wife grew up in Round Valley. They have been married for almost 24 years, and they have 2 children. Most recently, Greg served as the Operational Support Commander, overseeing critical operations, which include criminal investigations, records, animal control, school resource officers, and the Regional Communications Center, which supports multiple police and fire agencies across the White Mountains. During his time with the Sholo Police Department, he has been instrumental in helping create the strong momentum the department is experiencing today. He spearheaded the creation of a regional major incident team, the adoption of data-driven strategies that significantly reduce calls for service and crime, and community outreach programs that are receiving outstanding public feedback. He holds a master's degree in criminal justice from Arizona State University, which I'm proud of that too. Go Sun Devils. A bachelor's degree from the Northern Arizona University and a graduate certificate in criminal justice education from the University of Virginia. He is also a graduate of the FBI National Academy, along with numerous other command and leadership courses. Before joining Sholo, Greg served in a wide range of command and investigative roles with the Phoenix Police Department. His experience included commanding the Airport Bureau at Sky Harbor International Airport. If anybody's been to the airport, that's a big undertaking, you know that. And leading the intelligence operations at the Arizona Counterterrorism Information Center, overseeing major crime units in the Family Investigations Bureau, and supervising high-profile investigations in internal affairs and various detective units. He has worked closely with federal agencies, managed major incidents, and built strong multi-agency partnerships throughout the state. In addition to his law enforcement duties, Greg serves as an adjunct professor teaching intelligence and homeland security at Northern Arizona University and has spent more than a decade working with nonprofit organizations supporting youth and families. He's a strong advocate of strategic leadership, employee wellness, and has a passion for community policing. He is committed to making the department 1% better every day and brings that mindset along with his passion for excellence to this new leadership role. It is my pleasure to introduce Sholo's 16th Police Chief, Greg Westover, as the next leader of the Sholo Police Department. So I may let him say a few words, and then I think we're going to do a pinning ceremony of a badge and some stars. He's going to have his wife and his mother do that. So Chief Westover, we'll give you the mic, and then we'll do your pinning ceremony.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I'm Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, staff. Thank you for having me tonight. To say I'm humbled and grateful and honored to be your 16th chief is an understatement. I know the role that the chief plays in this community. Old-fashioned police philosophy might be something similar to policing the community. Here in Show Low, I police with the community, and our police department is committed to policing with this amazing community. I pinch myself almost every day when I come to work, and I'm going to recognize a few community members even, but to have such an amazing council and city staff that support the police department and defend the police department and are eager to help and serve with us is just an honor to be your chief and work with this amazing team here in Show Low to provide public safety and service. So thank you very much. Morgan, thank you for your trust in selecting me. I won't let you down. I commit to you. Mayor, I know you were on that board. Thank you for your trust in selecting me. I know there were some very, very worthy candidates that were competing for this, and I don't take this opportunity for granted. If I can start by thanking our former police chief, Brad Provost. He's here. He's got almost 4 decades of sworn service with the Show Low Police Department. When I found out this opportunity was here and I met with him, he told me that there were some unbelievable candidates testing for that commander spot. And I thought it was incredible that he had the organizational courage to conduct an outside process for commander. And to my knowledge, that was the first time Show Low PD had done that under his leadership. He committed it would be a fair process, and he selected me, and I can't be more grateful that he selected me to serve in that capacity, because now serving with former candidates in that role, I recognize how incredible they were. They're regional leaders, they're well-respected, and they're mentors of mine. So, Brad, thank you for giving me that opportunity to serve Show Low, and you continue to mentor me, and you've committed to continuing mentor me. Barb, you're the former chief's chief. Thank you for always being there for me and being patient with me as I was learning this new role with Brad and taking time away from you and your family. I'd like to recognize our community members. I sat down with a lot of them as I prepared for this chief process. I see Kathy and Denise. I see our rangers. I look around the room, and the room is packed with our community leaders. John Jarrett, Quarter sent me a good luck thing and was going to come. I just couldn't be more grateful for the community guidance and advice and commitment to serve with me. So thank you to our community that I feel your love, and I won't let you down in serving. Please feel free to come to me with anything I can do to help protect and serve this community. I've got close family friends here. I've got my as many family members as can come. I've got my amazing mother of 8 children. I'm kind of in the middle. I've got my twin brother here. He's serving in a government capacity with Winslow. I've got my sister, Raylene, here, and her husband's a retired DPS sergeant, and he pinned my officer badge on me. And he's here. I've got close family friends I call family. And I'd like to do a special shout out, if I may, because I'm so humbled right now to see such an overwhelming turnout in my law enforcement brotherhood and sisterhood. Dennis Orender is the executive assistant chief with Phoenix PD. The former interim chief while they were selecting a new police chief is here. Assistant Chief Benza. I don't want to go all the way down, but I've got DPS's Major Phil Pott and Captain Sharp's they're mentors, but I guess I will. I've got my amazing Show Low staff here who stand behind me. Huh?
You have 2.5 hours.
Yeah, thank you. No, I don't want to take this for granted. They're doing a turn and burn today, and to see them in Class A's gave me goosebumps because it just shows their love and respect for me. I'm just going around my Sholo team. I couldn't be more humbled to serve with them. They're a professional agency, and I'd put their talents and performance against any of our former Phoenix guys. I've got Cottonwood Command here in Garth. Thank you. Ty with the FBI. Assistant Chief Marin with Surprise PD. Assistant Chief Benza, thank you. He was a mentor of mine for a long time in my capacities. I introduced Chief Orender, Commander Ward. I've got my amazing dispatch supervisor team who make us look good, and they're our first responders. I've got fire chiefs in the group, our regional fire chiefs with Chief Payne, Chief Nelson, Chief Chevalier, Chief Barnes, Chief Martin. I'm like scanning the room. There's so many chiefs present. I'm just so overwhelmed. Chief Martin, thank you for being here. A special shout out, Mayor. I know there's a lot of brass and chiefs in the room, but the guys who were by my side as a brand new lieutenant doing shift commander responsibilities, we call each other the 5 team. There were major, crazy barricades, incidents, shootings. These guys were there for me through thick and thin, and I leaned on them for safety and guidance. Jesse Abernathy's a tactical mentor of mine. Casey Tornberg. I've got Warren Brewer, they're commanders. Commander Wickers was a mentor when I went to the Counterterrorism Center. He's the godfather of counterterrorism in Arizona. Don't let your head get too big, Commander Wickers. And Brian Knuppel is just like a brother from another mother. I'm sorry, I see Kathy. I see so many people. I feel so loved right now. So thank you for being here. And without further ado, I know I missed a ton of people. I'm scanning the room. There's just so many. Thank you for being here.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, I feel loved and respected. I've asked my mom to pin my badge. I'm sorry. I asked my wife to pin my badge. I asked my mother to pin my stars. So, Dustin, if you would come up here. While she's coming up here, she's my anchor, she's my rock, she's my everything. We've been married and have a beautiful family. As I was preparing for all these specialty details, she was there when I was doing my education and my master's degree. She'd bring the kids to the library and get me lunch, and she knows my trials and tribulations and my stresses, and she's just my everything. So to have her pin this chief badge means the world to me. So thank you for allowing her to do that. She promised not to poke me too. I thought this would be a kind of a revenge thing.
Before.
Huh?
Heard that before.
Yeah. I'm still not confident she's completely committed.
I think she's done it before too.
My dad's already passed away, so it means the world that my mom's still here to do the stars. My father-in-law's here, Tom. He's my father replacement, and I'm proud to have him fill in that role for me with my dad passed. But my mom's our family's matriarch and our anchor, so thank you, Mom, for being willing to do this. If you'll come up and do this.
was kind of wanting to poke you.
Whoops.
Yeah. Right in the neck. Yeah.
I don't do that. Whoops.
That's why I brought my wife up here to help.
The other side was easier.
They have all night.
How about 4 hours?
Thank you.
Where are you going? It's still my meeting. You know, you're right on your speech. It was a tough process. It was tough for me. As mayor, I've never gone through something like that. We had some fantastic candidates. We really did. I look at it as we're blessed that you are our chief. We really are. And I'm proud that you put in for it. I really am. We did have some great candidates, and the best ones always prevail. You know, the process when you hire without of your community, you know, you don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the best prevailed. And thank you for taking the job. And you got some big shoes to fill. Brad's done some amazing things in the time he was in there, but thank you very much for accepting the position as chief.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else?
Thank you. I look forward to talking to you more and getting to know you more, and I've enjoyed getting to know you at this point, so I'm excited for the future.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Mayor said you have big shoes to fill. Brad has how many years? 40-something years, so I guess we'll see you in about 40 years.
No, we won't. We won't be here, Connie.
Maybe they'll see you. But congratulations, and thank you for the work that you've done for the city of Shiloh thus far, and we look forward to see what you can do in the future.
Thank you.
You've got a great crew backing you up, and we're really proud of them also, and
Yeah.
so you'll do great things with them.
Thank you, Chief. You love Shiloh, and Shiloh loves you, and we're grateful to have you. It's going to be a lot easier to say chief than commander, so looking forward to it.
I just want to comment as well. Thank you for being willing to do it, and congratulations. So thanks.
Thank you. And if I can echo what you said, I'm talking with my Phoenix guys, my former mentors and buddies and right-hand men, and they're like, how is Shiloh? And it's such an honor to be able to say this is not some little redneck, podunk little town with just winging things like this. Shiloh's a professional, well-run organization. Our council and our city staff blesses us with the state-of-the-art equipment and a budget that allows us to be safe and to be trained. And I've got Commander McNeil and Butora, who have almost 3 decades each serving this amazing community on each side of me. And I've got amazing lieutenants, and Justin Hart, who's right up there with them, and now Lieutenant Rogers. My comm manager's a OG in the dispatch world, and her dispatch supervisors are amazing. And you see their dispatchers and officers here. You know them personally, and they're just top notch. I couldn't be more humbled to serve with them in this capacity.
Thank you, and we agree with you. Now you can be excused.
Thank you.
We're going to take about a 2-minute break. I do 90% of the people.
Oh, did you? So Joey not eat in here?
That's
Guess it was good that there was a lot of people then.
Yeah, we're kind of experimenting with wireless transfer. Yeah, he tells me. I'm gonna take that. I can take photos at the same time. It's great. Yeah, I know. Love it.
What's going on?
Dude, the chiropractors. This is where you. So,
Appreciate you coming. Oh, he's the public works.
Hey, yeah.
That's why it looks
Christmas.
identical, but
Yeah, big group today.
Had to wrestle each other.
oh really?
Yep. You ready for the holidays?
Yes, I am.
Probably got a seat.
I didn't know that they went out. Like, I'm actually comfortable. I'm so fickle.
Let me call.
I will do it.
Yep, for that.
Get my bride on 110% instead of lumping along the way she. But we got a good You went to this school where I went as well, in MMI. And he went on into
It's the 6th.
higher. I went higher too. I got married to get there. Councilman Adams, hello. Was that the glass or your hand? Oh, you're all right. All right, we'll get started. Next item on the agenda is presentation of annual report by the Sholo Historical Society. Ms. Claire.
Good evening, Mayor John, Connie, council, city staff. Well, thank you for having me this evening. Wow, what a remarkable evening. And our city, can you believe how beautiful it is? Oh, so many hands have worked diligently to make us just so beautiful. So this evening, I'm going to share a little bit about the 30th year of the Sholo Historical Society Museum. We've been at that location at 561 East Yusuf Clubs for 30 years. It's a little hard to believe. To give you some of our stats, our visitor count was 4,669, which of those thousands, there were several hundred children. And we're very proud of the fact that we host area schools in the spring and in the fall, and give them tours of the museum, and they can learn about the history of Sholo and the ancestry that's so rich and deep here. We have 15 volunteers on a regular basis. Those volunteer hours equaled 1,121 hours of volunteer work this year. We had, 408 accessioned donations to the museum, and we have 68 active membership. So just to highlight a few things, and I won't take too long because I know you're pressed for time, right?
We have all the time in the world.
We, at the museum, we have hosted two particular groups over many, many years, the Creative Crafters. And they're a group of ladies that meet on Wednesday. And this year, we've had a record number of at least 30 ladies every Wednesday. They come at 10 o'clock. They bring their craft projects. They share with each other, and they also teach our museum visitors when they come through, if the visitors choose to stop and visit with them. And they are far-reaching in this community and provide all kinds of important necessities to the police department, to the homeless, and a lot of this work is done at the museum. On Thursday, we have the Regal Wood Carvers, and they're a group of people that enjoy carving wood. And Janet, who is the president of the club this year, she has taught several children's classes this past summer. And she teaches the children to do wood carving by using bars of soap. And it's remarkable, the creativity that comes out of that. And of course, we still have our Silver Creek Railroaders Club in the old Navajo County Justice Courtroom, and they were awarded a $1,000 grant from Arizona Historical Society to continue their work on the Last Train to Maverick exhibit. I never know who or what request is going to come through the doors at the museum. This past year, I got a call from this gentleman, and he was interested in the apple trees in our area. And he's with the Montezuma Orchard Restoration Project from Cortez, Colorado. And so we talked at length on the phone. He made a trip here from Cortez. His interest was in particular, was about the apple trees at the Ellsworth Ranch. And so with in-house research, I determined that most likely the Ellsworth family had planted those trees in the late 1800s. And he was granted permission to take cuttings of those apple trees, and they will be put into the Heritage Project and preserved for generations to come. And this, it's such as a seed bank, but it's for trees. And so we were really happy to accommodate him in that endeavor. You know, our museum, most people will think, oh, a museum is for retired people, but not Sholo Museum. We have, like I mentioned, hundreds of children that come through. And the museum staff, we have been honored over the years to mentor young people. One in particular, Garrett Hicks, he did an internship with us one summer, a couple summers back, and he graduated, and now he's a history teacher in Tucson. He stops by every year when he comes up, and it's always wonderful to catch up with Garrett, and he's so appreciative of the hands-on training that he got in our museum. And another young man, Noah Harp. Noah lived in Lakeside. His grandparents started bringing him to the museum when he was 3. By the time he was 8, he determined that he was going to be working at the museum. And so every Saturday morning, his grandparents brought him in, and he was there to do his job on the railroad. And he did a fine job. We mentored him through grade school, high school. He graduated from Blue Ridge High. And at age 18, he moved to Albuquerque and was immediately hired on the Rail Runner Express in Albuquerque as a conductor. And so, we had a hand in providing that education, and I'm, just very proud of those 2 young men. We had a team from Perfect Image Digitizing. They came in and did some digitizing of the materials that we have in the museum. And they were pleasantly overwhelmed at the volume of information that we have in our museum. And believe me, there is a lot. It will be online, specifically through Family Search, free of charge to anyone to do researching. And so we're grateful for the opportunity to be able to share our information in the technical world. Last but not least, we receive many, many wonderful compliments about our museum on a daily basis. This past summer, we had a couple come through, and they spent all day with us. I kept checking on them. They were great. They just were absorbing everything that we had in the museum. And for those of you that don't know, our museum is large. It's 6,000 square feet, 17 separate themed rooms, so there's a great deal to enjoy. So they completed their tour, and as they were leaving, I asked them if, what they enjoyed, and they said, oh, they enjoyed everything. And the gentleman said, this is our second favorite museum. We travel all over the world and visit to every museum that we can during our travels. And you could tell that they were world travelers. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, that's wonderful. I said, well, what is your first favorite museum? And his answer was the Art Institute of Chicago. So, my head just swelled after that. So that was really quite a wonderful compliment for Sholo, Arizona. The museum continues to be in good standing with the Arizona Corporation Commission, Arizona Historical Society as a certified historical institution, the gold standard of history, communication, preservation, and education. And we work hard to maintain that level. We look forward to working with the City TV crew, continuing our time capsule videos. And Grace and her team, they do a marvelous job, and I so appreciate being able to share our history. So in closing, I want to thank each and every one of you here at the city for your financial support to the museum. It's a big building to run, and Rick and his crew, they come at a moment's notice to help us with that aging building, and we're always so very appreciative. The museum will close to the general public on December 20th and reopen on March 4th. Although I'm available for group tours and can be reached at my local number 928-242-3905, or if I'm there, knock on the door and come in. So, can I answer any questions for you?
I don't know, but thank you for everything you do down there, and I love your videos.
Oh.
I think they do a great job, and hopefully it helps people realize what we have in our town. So 6,000 square foot, so you don't need any more room then? 6,000's good?
No,
Okay. If we gave you 20,000, you would fill it.
I would.
know how
we would.
passionate you are about our community, our museum, but
But it's not me, it's the town's folks, it's y'all's treasures that are in that building. And, there's not a member here that can't say, oh, that's my family, or that's my friend, or, it's in there, so.
I appreciate
anyway,
everything. Everybody else? John, you're.
Claire, I just want to thank you, all your years of hard work in building this museum and continuing it. It's a lot of work and you do a lot. I want to thank you. It is fabulous. I hope everyone goes and spends some time there. The tour is very educational and exciting, and you learn a lot of good things. And I just want to thank you, though, for everything you do and the support you are for our community through that museum. So thank you, Claire. And
You're welcome.
everything.
My pleasure.
Claire, I agree with both of these gentlemen. You do a wonderful job, and you're so educated and knowledgeable about our museum, and I appreciate that so much. It's hard to believe that it's been 30 years that you all have been in there.
Yes.
I worked in that building when I first started with the city of Show Low in 1980.
It was your home, too?
So it's just amazing to me that it's already been 30 years that you've been there.
Give everybody your age. Anybody else? Thank you, Claire, very much. Appreciate everything you
Wish
do.
you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank
You
you.
as well. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is presentation regarding the Show Low Turner the Card Community Center and Meals on Wheels. Mr. Gerard.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Me, nasty and honored, as always. While everybody's moving up here, I'll kind of make some introductions. I'm the board president, Jim Gerard. Bryce Judd is a board member. This is our executive secretary and also our interim director. We've got Stephen Harrington over there as our VP, and our kitchen manager, the mean Jessica Turney. So I'm going to turn the presentation over to him, and then I'll close it up.
I have to say, just as an unrelated comment, I have two kids. We got them through school, high school, and then university. And they were both involved in music. And every time I would hear about, okay, we're going to go to another high school, and I would say, okay, well, we have to, we're parents. And I was always shocked at how great the high school performers were, even the bands. And then tonight, to listen to these folks, they were just unbelievable.
Hard act to follow.
Absolutely, just great. They're more than ready for America's Got Talent. All right. So your highlight of the evening. I understand I have 2 hours. Yes.
No, we're down to 5 minutes.
I thought I heard him say we had all the time in the world.
That's what I heard. All right. So we're going to talk just a little bit about statistics for the year. I want to tell you what we've done with your money, our activity highlights. Talk a little bit about our financial budget. We've got our year-end budget for 25 in there, and our budget for 26. Some of our strategic issues that we have for fund development, as well as continued organizational development and activities planned. So Meals on Wheels, our home-delivered meals trended. We've gone up 1.3% over the previous year, and we continue to have a demand for services. We have a number of folks that are on the waiting list, both at NACOG as well as locally. So we keep them on that list, hoping that a position will come available. When we do the financial analysis of our meals, whether it's congregate or home delivery, we do have a lot of folks that don't pay. And so we are actually covered about 52% of the meals that we serve. And that's quite an interesting statistic, and that's why as a board, our responsibility is to continue to raise funds to fill that gap from the dollars that we received. Our congregate meals, those have gone up month over month for the most part over the past year. And we are down a little bit over last year, but we expect that to tick up. Our Head Start statistics, those the volume stays the same, fortunately. There are 40 kids over there, and one thing that we were successful in doing is asking them for an increase in the meal rate. We did cost analysis, and we were successful in getting an 8.6% increase in payment for the meals that we provide to them. I'm not going to go through each of these tables unless you would like me to, but just a little bit. Most of the folks obviously are from Show Low, but we do have 23% that we service up in Pine Top Lakeside. You may be aware or maybe not that we have the senior center services in Pine Top does not do home delivery, so we fill that gap. They do congregate, but we do the rest. Not surprisingly, about 60 some odd percent are over the age of 70. And gender makeup for our home delivery, not surprisingly, most are female, with some males in there. On our congregate clients, it doesn't change that much, but our draw is a little bit broader. We do get folks down in from White Mountain Lake, White River. We got a couple of folks there, but most 80% come from Show Low. Our veteran status for home delivery, we've got 14% of the population of the Meals on Wheels population are veterans. And the household composition, these are things that I look at as well, both from a quality of life and a clinical perspective. 47% of them live alone. And that's something that we minister to as well in our welfare checks. And for our congregate, our veteran status, we have 28% who are veterans that we service. Household competition, there 62% of our folks that come in for congregate meals are live alone. I also like to look, because of my background in healthcare, other issues that the population that we serve and you support have. We do have a high number of folks that have an illness or condition that changes the type of food that they can have. We do also have 36% where they eat fewer than 2 meals a day. And for many, this is the only meal that they do have a day. We do have folks come in for congregate meals that will also take a portion of that meal home with them to have that evening. And those are the types of folks that we are seeing there. Nutritional risk. This is a key issue that we concern ourselves with. 85% of our home delivery are at nutritional risk level 3, which is the highest risk level. And those are concern for us that we keep them fed and try and improve the quality of diet that they have, and keep them from decelerating and requiring either hospitalization or post-hospitalization care. Our congregate clients, 50% of those folks are at nutrition risk level 3. We do an assessment for every applicant, and then we do an annual update for each of the folks that we service to see. And we have had some improvement. I don't have that here with you, but we do. Objective client status for home delivery require mobility aid. 90% have a handicap or disability. And most need a walker or a cane. And so they are all fall risks as well, which is another underscoring the need for us to do welfare checks. We're a community center, so we're not just a senior center. So I've provided the statistics for you for 24-25 of the number of visitors that we have. Now we count everybody that walks through the door. And so we've gone up to 14,000 visitors. So and as I was leaving tonight, we had a group of about 35 still meeting there tonight. They appreciate the opportunity to have a place where they can meet. I've given you a list of various activities that are going on at the community center. And one of the things that I wanted to point out that we were able to put in place through a grant, we now have a couple of computer kiosks there attached to a printer for folks to be able to come in and use the computers who may not have a computer at home and want to come in and do some work. A big shout out to our kitchen manager. She is the queen of grant writing and finding us money because thanks to her, we've been able to get funds in for equipment. Financial budget. I've given you a table of sources of income. And for, we ended the year, last year, for this year, we've budgeted a loss of $15,000, and that's our goal to close that gap through our fund development. I've given you a picture of our sources of income. And City of Show Low provides us with 17% of the funding that this organization consumes, which, by the way, I want to point out that you guys also support us for a number of our programs, our Thanksgiving, and also with the square footage. We're hired to manage the community center, but there's also value to the square footage that we occupy in there, and we're not blind to that. We're very appreciative of that. Budget notes, we did have a successful increase in reimbursement for our Head Start. We did get an increase in our NACOG cap for our home delivery and congregate. However, there was no increase in payment for the meals, and I'm working with them now to see what we can do to get a little bit of a bump there. And they're open to that despite the challenges that we have at the federal level. We've received a $98,000 grant thanks to Mrs. Turney from Delhi Web that we use to upgrade equipment and add equipment to the facility. We've done increases. We've gotten increases in donations. One thing in particular, when TJ Maxx came to town, please support TJ Maxx. The first thing they wanted to do was call us over and give us a check for $10,000. So we are very grateful for that. We had our second annual golf tournament. Thank you for participating in that. And we netted $7,700 in that. And we have applied for funding to Pinetop Lakeside this past year. Unfortunately, they weren't able to approve that, and we're going to meet with them again as well. And then I'll be meeting with our folks at Navajo County for the donations that they typically provide for us. Fund development, we'll continue. I told you on behalf of our board last year that we were going to have a larger presence in the community, and we did. We had a great 4th of July in the Freedom Fest. As I mentioned, our second annual golf tournament, Head Start increase in funding, and Nourishing Neighbors. We had lines out the door. Last year, we were given $500, 500 cards at $50 each that had a value of $25,000 from Nourishing Neighbors. And this year, we got 425. And so somebody had posted it on out in the on the internet, and all of a sudden we had people literally from all over Navajo County. I'm not kidding, with a line out the door, and it took 2, sometimes 3 of us just to keep up with that line to give those cards out. And then we'll be working on our sponsorship program for mailing solicitation. So we've done right pricing and costing on our Head Start. We've done that. Meals on Wheels, we've done our updated costing on that. And I submitted our average cost per plate to NACOG for their records. And the same thing for congregate meals. And then for activities, we cast a budget for each and then measure our return on investment for those activities. Grant applications, I've listed them for you there for applications that we'll continue to apply for additional funding from. And then I've given you a list of our activities planned. And then we are open to any questions.
Of course, I have a comment. Thank you guys for everything you do. If you need any work on meeting with Pinetop Lakeside, I think Councilman Judd can maybe go up there with you and strong arm them a little bit. Where are you getting a grant? You say a grant from Pinetop Lakeside. What does that mean?
Last year, the year before, we got, I think, $2,000 from them. And so I did a costing of that, and then we met with them this past summer. And I showed them that we are at a negative of $27,000. And so I asked them for $10,000. But I understand, what I understood is that they had some significant fiscal issues this year. So I imagine that's why we weren't able to get any funding from them.
Well, like I said, I really appreciate what you're doing. These reports, I was on the board for a few years myself because I wanted to know all the stuff that we're doing. But is this still working? There it goes. It's me. But anyway, thank you for what you're doing because you're going in the right direction. But for what you do for our community, I think the part that really grabs me every time I hear this report is the seniors that live alone, and sometimes you delivering that meal is the only human contact they get, and that just breaks my heart to think about that. They're excited for the meal, of course, or twice a day or once a day that you bring it to them, but they're also excited for that human contact that they get because of this program. So, like I said, when I was on it, just to learn the ins and outs of what goes on it, because I really didn't know. I know a lot more now, but what you guys do is fantastic, and I know we do everything we can to help support that program. I know I lean on NACOG quite a bit because I'm past chairman for many years with NACOG, and I know there's some struggles with NACOG as well from the federal government. So I just appreciate, that report was fantastic, by the way. I liked how you broke everything down and the nuts and bolts, and I can tell that Dave's got his heart into it as well. But I just can't thank you guys enough, and thank you, the kitchen crew, because I'm sure there was some cost cuts there that you guys have made, and not as wasteful as we were. Not saying it was a bad thing, but if you have so much food, let's see if we could put it on the special. So I know you guys thought about that when you're ordering food, and I appreciate that.
I wanted to add something real quick.
Sure.
The Thanksgiving meal, 455 meals were served.
Wow.
50 of them went to the fire department.
Wow, that's
Okay. And the other thing I want to add is everybody on this board supports us in one way or another. All we have to do is ask, and we get what we can get. Whether it's maintenance or it's contributions from, or a little bit of advice on some things. It all adds up. So we want to thank you guys for the great support you do. And I'm going to tell you, it shows in the community. We just got almost $3,000 from the Realtor group because they see this committee, this council is supporting us. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. And Dave, I thank you again for stepping up. I didn't know you were in term until today when I stopped by with a donation from the community fast, but thank you for stepping up. I appreciate it. I remember a few years back when you first got on the board, I thought you were retiring. And now I appreciate you coming semi out of retirement, but we could sure tell where your passion's at. Gerard, thank you for staying with it. You guys do a fantastic job, and it's a need in our community, and thanks to people like you, you're filling that need. So thank you, guys. Councilman Judd.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to James and everyone. Everything you guys do, most of you guys are volunteers, and you put in a lot of time and effort, and those that get paid don't get paid very much. So we realize that you guys do a lot of good for the community. I'd be happy to go with you to Pine Top to meet with those guys and see if we can.
And you're all welcome to come to lunch.
Yep.
We'll put it on the mayor's bill.
Good. Move that decimal one more time. In which direction? Thank you, guys. Great report. Appreciate it. Okay, next item on the agenda is consent calendar. We'll entertain a motion to consideration of approval of proposed fiscal year 2027 budget calendar, consideration of acceptance of playground equipment for City Park New Pavilion. Oh, boy, I need somebody to read this. It's a lot. Consideration of resolution number R 2025-47, consideration of applications for Federal Aviation Administration grant funding, consideration of non-commercial ground lease for Mohawk Partners LLC, consideration of resolution number R 2025-46, rescinding resolution number R 2019-22, consideration of award of well 13 repairs, consideration of award of well 6D upgrade, consideration award of well 3A upgrade, consideration of the minutes of the Show Low City Council regular meeting on November 4th, 2025. Do I have a motion or correction or removal? Or
Make a motion to approve the consent, or to approve the
consent calendar is read?
calendar. Thank you.
It's been a while since you've done that, huh? Got a motion, got a second by Councilman Judd. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Next item on the agenda under new business is a public hearing and consideration, of ordinance number 2025-07, amending chapter 5.05, section 505-070, dog at large exceptions, and adopting resolution number R 2025-44, declaring as public record that the documents titled Chapter 5.05, Section 5.05070, Restraint Dog at Large of the Show Low City Code. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. At the City Council retreat held on October 1st, staff presented information on issues related to dogs at large and dogs restraint and the current dog at large ordinance. Dogs running at large can pose risk to people, other animals, and property, including the potential for injury and spread of disease. Improperly restrained or controlled dogs are also potential hazards to residents, visitors, and their pets from nuisance behavior or harm caused by dogs not properly restrained or controlled. Currently, the city's ordinance requires that dogs off the owner's premises be on a leash. However, the leash length is not specified. Generally, retractable leashes range from 10 to 26 feet with an average of 16 feet. The average width of the path at the city park is about 10 feet, and sidewalks and walking paths are obviously narrower. The longer leashes and the owner's ability to physically control their dogs create issues with unwanted contact between people and the other animals. Most Arizona municipalities have adopted a 6-foot leash. That is also consistent with our city park. We already have an ordinance for a 6-foot leash length for animals inside the city park. The proposed amendment includes reasonable regulations designed to protect the public peace and safety along with the rights of the responsible dog owners to maintain and enjoy their pets. As indicated, the ordinance specifies a 6-foot leash length and that all dogs need to be under the physical control of the owner, sufficient to prevent unwanted contact by passerbys.
Thank you. Appreciate that. At this time, I'll open it up to a public hearing. Seeing nobody sprint up here, I'll close the public hearing and turn it back to council for any questions or comments. Seeing none, I'm not going to forget, Rachel. I'll have the city clerk read ordinance number 2025-07 by title only, since all council members have a copy.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. City of Show Low Ordinance Number 2025-07, an ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the City of Show Low, Arizona, amending the Code of the City of Show Low, Chapter 5.05, Definitions and General Regulations, Section 5.05.070, Dog at Large Exceptions. Thank you.
Thank you. Turn it back to the council for motions or questions. Vice Mayor.
I'll make a motion. I move to adopt ordinance number 2025-07, amending Chapter 5.05, Section 5.05.070, dog at large exceptions of the City of Show Low Code, and adopting Resolution R 2025-44, declaring as a public record that document titled Chapter 5.05, Section 5.05.070, Restraint Dog at Large of the City of Show Low City Code.
Thank you. We got a motion by Councilman Adams. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing that we're going to pull item B and save that for a future meeting. We weren't quite ready to bring that to council. So we'll move on to item C on the agenda, consideration to adopt agreement with AMK Solutions LLC to replace access control system. Mr. DeWalt. See, I'm getting that name down, ain't I? I promise I'll never call you DeWalt again. I promise.
Well, that's all right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Good evening, Mayor, council members. The city of Show Low currently utilizes an outdated access control system that is in requirement of being replaced. The proposed new system will significantly enhance the city's security infrastructure by restricting access to sensitive areas and maintaining a detailed log of the date, time, and employee identity for each access event. The project was publicly bid according to statutory requirements, and only one bid was received. After thorough research, the staff recommends that Brevo access control system, which is well suited to meet the city's needs both now and in the future. Staff recommends approving an agreement with AMK Solutions LLC for an amount not to exceed $156,428.75 for the replacement of our access control systems throughout the city of Show Low. The city will use a standard form contract for this agreement.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Councilman Adams.
I move to approve the agreement with AMK Solutions LLC in the amount not to exceed $156,428.75 to replace the access control systems throughout the city of Show Low.
Got a motion? Got a second by Councilman Whipple. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passed unanimously.
Thank you very much.
75 cents. Why, that always catches me. Why can't it be even? I don't get it, but maybe you can talk to him, say, hey, can you waive 75 cents?
Yes, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is consideration of award of construction contract for Headworks Automatic Screen Rake and Wash Press, City of Show Low, project number 755-2206, and authorize of associated budget transfers. Mr. Hemsall.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The city's 2026 capital improvement budget includes $250,000 for the installation of an automatic screen rake and wash press at the Headworks building at the city's wastewater plant. Current operations include manual raking of the bar screen. The new screen rake will remove larger debris before they enter the wastewater plant and dispose of them in a nearby dumpster at all times during the day. The scope of the project is to provide and install the automatic screen rake with wash press, including all required electrical, plumbing, and infrastructure provided to provide a turnkey operational unit at the Headworks. City engineering staff designed the project with a construction estimate of $400,000. The project was publicly bid in accordance with statutory requirements with the following results. Mountaintop Development LLC, $525,000, 0 cents. And Fan Environmental LLC at $547,612 0 cents. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract for the Headworks Automatic Screen Rake and Wash Press, City of Show Low Project 755-2206 to Mountaintop Development LLC in that amount not to exceed that $525,000 and authorize the associated budget transfers. The city will use a standard forward contract for the construction contract. I'm here for any questions.
I got one. Does anybody have any questions? They know what that is?
I think so.
Okay, I had to ask because,
It's a manual process right now.
yeah, I don't think we want to know exactly what it does. We'll just keep that, but maybe get with staff and ask what that is. Where was I going with that? Dang it.
The guys at the plant will be pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyway, do I entertain a motion or comments? Vice Mayor.
I move to award the construction contract for the Headworks Automatic Screen Rake and Wash Press, City of Show Low, project number 755-2206 to Mountaintop Development LLC in an amount not to exceed $525,000 and authorize associated budget transfers.
Got a motion, I got a second by Councilman Adams. I do have a question now. Where are we getting the rest of the money?
We had money in the wastewater improvements account that's for overruns or small projects that we see. We just awarded our manhole replacement project last month, so this is the last sewer project for the year possibly. So we're comfortable using those funds to do the project.
Nice, thank you. Okay, I got a motion, got a second. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Next item on the agenda is consideration of approval of a 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal year 2027 to 2031. Mr. Hemsall.
You bet. The city of Show Low is required by city code to have an approved 5-year capital improvement plan. The CIP is a planning tool, looks 5 years ahead to plan and prioritize the city's needs. The program is administered by an advisory committee that consists of city staff and representatives from the city council. Prior to the advisory committee meeting, a public notice was issued seeking recommendations for capital project requests. Every requester that provided contact information received a written response from staff. The first year of the CIP 2027 includes any projects that were not funded in the fiscal year 2026 budget. The 2027 projects are the committee's top priorities. However, it is understood that not all projects will be funded. The budget process will be the final determinant of which projects receive funding. Only projects $50,000 or over are included in the CIP. Smaller projects will be accounted for in each department's operations budget. Each project listed in the CIP has a detailed capital outlay project sheet, which includes the project, its cost, potential funding sources, and a timeline. Detailed cost estimates and maps are also included with the worksheets when appropriate. Staff held a meeting with the advisory committee on November 13th, 2025, at which time the CIP was recommended for approval by the committee. Staff recommends the council approve the 5-year capital improvement plan, fiscal years 2027 to 2031. And I'm here for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? I got some comments too. Just to remind council, I was kind of, I think about this capital improvement plan, I think it's more of a wish list, because we do move that around. And just remember that, there could be some projects that we might think is real important. And it's a good to have this committee because it gives us a wish list and maybe we follow it. But just a reminder that sometimes we might go off key and need to put it somewhere else. So it's just something to remember in the future, in the next 5-year plan, because it's on there, it might not get funded, or we might decide we want it somewhere else. And that's part of the budget process. So that was all. That quick comment. So now I entertain a motion. Do you have a comment, Vice Mayor?
That was my comment.
Oh, that was your comment? Oh, I'm sorry. You want to say it too? We have time.
No, we don't.
Okay. Go ahead.
I move to
Councilman
approve the 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal year 2027 to 2031. Oh my gosh, for the city of Shiloh.
He acts like he's just tired. Got a motion, second by the Vice Mayor. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed, motion passed unanimously. Did you miss us, Shane? You're up again.
I'm here all night.
Next item on the agenda, consideration of acceptance of programming for Show Low Sports and Event Center and consideration of entering into a schematic design phase of the design build contract, City of Show Low project number FM 4625. Mr. Hempsaw.
Thank you, Mayor. At its regular meeting on July 15th, 2025, the City Council awarded a pre-construction contract to Hayden Companies LLC for the Show Low Sports and Event Center. The scope of the work for this contract is the first phase of the design-build contract for the facility. The pre-construction design is divided into 4 phases of development to achieve the final design for the building. The 4 phases are programming and conceptual design phase, the schematic design phase, the design development phase, and the construction document phase. Over the past few months, the design team has been working to identify possible programming elements of the facility. A public comment open house was held on September 16th, followed by a city council meeting to discuss possible additional items that may be included in the final building programming. Cost to add additional possible items was also presented and discussed. Based on that direction, the design team has finalized the initial programming for the facility. The Hayden Architecton and 4-Line Studio team, Chris Ford, is here and present to discuss an overview of the final programming document. And at that time, I'll go ahead and invite Chris Ford to come on up and share the presentation with you.
You didn't have to stretch or anything. You just flew out of that.
He's ready.
Welcome, Chris.
Well,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you, council and mayor, for letting us be here tonight to kind of provide an update on where we're at in the process. Hopefully get you all excited for the next steps so we can keep moving on. So a quick update on kind of where we've been. As Shane mentioned, we were here mid-September to kind of kick off the project, meet with members of the community, and make some kind of really important decisions in terms of number of courts, site, stuff like that. Over the next 2 months, as Shane mentioned, we worked on producing that final programming document, which includes, among other things, room data sheets, which identify the various spaces that are going to be proposed for the facility and all of the various things that are going to go into those spaces. It includes narratives and design intent for the various systems of the building, such as the mechanical, structural, and electrical systems. And it includes an updated conceptual design package, which we're going to review here today, which includes floor plan, site plan, and renderings. From here, we're hopeful that we get feedback from council and staff in order to move on to that 30% schematic design phase. In the meantime, Hayden Construction is currently pricing that programming document so that we can, in basically right before the holiday, review that initial budget internally and then be back here early January in a special session to go through that programming budget before we get too far down the line on the schematic design phase. So jumping into the fun stuff here, just a reminder of where the site is. I'm sure everyone is aware. It is located north of the Wolford Road expansion between Penrod and Highway 260 on the western edge of the commercial development located on Show Low Bluff. So as we jump into the design, what you have here is the site plan. The large or the thick dashed line on the edge is the property line, roughly 12.5 acres that has been identified. Wolford Road bounds the site to the south. What we're calling Road X bounds the site to the east. That is a connecting road within the commercial development that has not been named. And then on the north edge of the site is the Lewis Street extension that is shown for reference here, but is not currently planned as part of this project scope. As you can see, this building is located in the southeast corner of the site, and it's located there mainly to minimize disturbance to the neighborhoods to the west, as well as provide as much frontage to Wolford Road and the planned commercial development to the east as possible. You'll notice that the roundabout that is planned along Wolford Road as part of that project's scope is really forming that southeast corner of the site. The main entrance into the site is located off of Road X, here where the cursor is. That is the primary vehicular entrance into the facility, with secondary access off of Road X here to the north and off of Wolford Road here to the south. The main entry into the building, highlighted by Keynote 1, is located here, again, focusing the front of the building towards the east of the site. A large drop-off is located on the north end of the meeting rooms, which we'll show in a second, with the intent that that becomes a real exterior extension of those community spaces and helps promote safety in that drop-off zone when you have a bunch of schools dropping off or school buses dropping off a lot of kids. So it's really designed to help promote the safety of that drop-off experience. Keynote 2 here, which is on the northwest corner of the building, is a secured patio, which will be shown in a second, that is there mainly for when there is a ticketed or private event in the facility, that there is still an exterior patio access that can be secured. So whether it's concerts or weddings or whatever that event may be, providing that opportunity for that secured exterior space was really important. That would also be where food trucks could potentially be rolled in for concerts and those types of events. Oops. On the western edge, which is the back of house space with the loading dock and mechanical areas, and this area has been designed with both the actual architecture and the site and landscape design to screen this completely from the neighbors to the west, which I know is a big point of contention on the project. So careful attention has been paid to how that is laid out, and it's again screened with walls as well as landscape. The parking lot is primarily focused here on the northern end of the site, as you can see. But we are still, as mentioned last time, we are still going to be deficient on parking spaces within our 12.5 acre site. So the additional offsite parking is kind of identified here off to the east. Again, the layout of that is not part of this scope right here. So that is still to be determined, but basically the additional offsite overflow parking will be to the east, which is really what drove the location of the building entry on that northeast corner, so that when you do have a large event that does need that overflow, that it feels welcoming and very clear pathway to that front entry. So as we jump into the floor plan of the facility, so obviously it was rotated slightly on the site, so now everything's kind of been rotated 90 degrees. So at the northeast corner here is a large covered entry plaza space. Again, that's that at northeast corner that abuts the drop-off. You have a large lobby that's accessed from a primary vestibule here. Within that lobby and pre-function space is going to be a welcome reception check-in desk located here, as well as a focal feature fireplace moment that is really designed to kind of create that hearth kind of community focus in the lobby space itself. The primary entry into the court space is off of that lobby space here, with a secondary entrance towards the west at the back of the kind of main hallway. And the intent of that is, if you can see this dashed line here, that is just to the right side of the blue line, that is basically where a divider will be placed so that during community rec mode, the facility can be kind of cordoned off so that only access to the lobby, the gyms, the upstairs walking track, and then one bank of restrooms will be available to help kind of just keep people out of the spaces that they don't need to be in when it's in recreation mode. The meeting room volume here is on the north, and again, the idea is that that has the ability to open up to that plaza space on the north side of the facility. This is the 500 seat banquet hall for weddings, conferences, that type of element. The majority of the bathrooms and storage spaces are located here on the north side of the courts. And then in the rear of the building is the large commercial kitchen and building support spaces. The concession stands are split so that this item here, number 4, is the concession that's attached directly to the commercial kitchen. And then a satellite concession is located here just off the meeting rooms to help split that up and kind of create as much separation in those two pieces as possible when there is large events. As you go into the gym space, as you can see, the various configurations of the 6 basketball courts, 12 volleyball, performance mode, and then obviously what you see here is championship court mode with the seats rolled out. Off to the west side is the storage space here for all of the equipment that's going to need to be stored for the facility and for its multiple uses. And then there's additional storage space scattered on the on the east and southern ends of the gym for various uses. And then jumping up to the second floor, obviously this is primarily dominated by the 3-lane walking track that goes around the perimeter. You do have your 4 stair cores. Your elevator is located in the northeast corner, again, close to that front entrance. And then we do have these 2 little bump outs here off the track that is kind of an opportunity for people to jump off the track and have a place to be rather than on the track itself for stretching or those types of scenarios. So all of this, the way the plan is laid out, the way that the square footage is kind of all lined out, is all in line with what we have presented to date. And it has received a lot of vetting from the city's SFC advisor, our internal design and engineering team, and obviously the construction team. So jumping into the conceptual design of the facility, bringing back the idea that we had from day one about making sure this building really relates to its context, to the region, and to the city. The use of materials is really trying to be brought from the natural environment. Obviously, with the large spans that we talked about before, with the large spans of the structure, we have to use a pre-engineered metal building, which does require the use of metal panels, but being creative with that, with texture and color, to really help drive home that natural feel is the goal of the structure. Bringing in CMU as well for some of the pieces that you actually are going to be at ground level with and be able to touch, so it has a little bit different feeling, and then bringing in a large format stone on that fireplace element. So these are just the 2D elevations of the design as is. We're going to show 3D stuff in here in a second, but the 2 things I want to point out on the elevations is the gym itself, the 6 courts and the associated storage is a single mono-pitch slope here that you can see, whereas the meeting rooms are much lower than that to minimize the impact of the building on the site. Essentially, the gym itself is what is treated with the metal panels that we're going to see, whereas the meeting rooms have that kind of more block and stone material to really help drive home that feel that you're touching those elements because it's at ground level. So we're going to kind of walk through kind of around the perimeter of the building with these renderings. And I will just very much reiterate that we are still very much in conceptual design. There is still a lot of stuff to figure out. So I think, we feel that we're in a really good spot, especially with the fact that we haven't even started schematic design yet. But there is still a lot of refinement and kind of fine tuning that's going to take place over the next 6 months. So this is starting at that northeast corner. Basically, this would be your approach from that overflow parking area. You can see the large entry plaza that's covered here. You have that road X here, and then this element here is the gym in the back. And here you can start to see how that metal panel starts to be sculpted and start to really mimic those rock faces that we talked about earlier. And as we zoom in to that entry plaza in more of an evening mode, you can see the vestibule here in the back with that, with the raised drop-off plaza here to the right. As we start to rotate towards the south, now we're basically at the roundabout. So one of the things we really wanted to focus on is opening up the southeast and southwest corners with as much visibility and glass as possible so that those corners really feel welcoming from both directions, as that's obviously going to be the primary access is off of Wolford. So here you can see this is Wolford here to the left, and then Road X to the right, and really opening up that corner. The use of the metal panel here on the main masses of the building, in contrast to kind of breaking up the panels, kind of recessed with glass here to maximize views from the track as you're kind of upstairs and having kind of views out to all directions. And then here's that same view kind of in a more evening perspective. Obviously, there's a lot of fine tuning here on the lighting, but just to kind of give an idea of how this building is going to sit within the landscape. And then as we rotate now to the southwest corner, kind of sitting at Wolford Road at the intersection of that secondary access, you can see how the building is really designed to really fit within the landscape as much as possible on that corner. One of the things that we'll do, and it'll be clear in a second, is the mechanical units that are going to be serving the gym space are actually hidden by the building itself rather than on the ground. And so making use of architectural elements and that change of material on that west side is how we're bringing that architectural interest. Because ultimately, again, this is a four-sided building that has to have visual interest and functionality on all four sides because of how it sits on the site and how it needs to function. So making sure every single side of the building has that interest is really important. And here, and it'll be a little bit clearer in a second, but again, we're opening up that southwest corner with additional glazing so that as you're driving from the 260 up Wolford, that it really becomes that inviting presence and experience all the way around. And then here's a view kind of from the north parking lot. This is a little bit raised up, but you can start to see how the massing of the building and the materiality starts to really be reminiscent of those natural features that we had talked about. And now we're going to kind of get up in the air just for clarity and rotate around the building. So here again, this is Road X. This is that front entry plaza. Here is that raised drop-off area. Again, using the paving and the change of grade to really help maximize safety for drop-offs. And then again, with those meeting rooms being able to expand out at certain times and utilize that plaza space. So rotating around now, we're at the southeast corner with the intersection of Wolford and Road X at the roundabout. Again, this area here is going to be heavily developed with the landscape to really hammer home that idea of the building rising out of the site. And as you can see, that corner really opened up with as much glazing as possible in the southeast corner. And then same thing on the southwest corner as we rotate around to really help bring in people. And then as you can see, you can kind of see the opening in the roof here, which is where those mechanical units will live to help, again, minimize how much site disturbance the kind of back of house elements are going to have. And then last rotation here, here you can see that secured patio area. We do have a cut in the roof there for part of it, so that there's at least some natural light. But again, that will be secured with operable gates and walls so that it can be open and closed as needed for security. So going through just a few more slides here. These are just three quick sections through the facility. This one is cutting through the gym. As you can see, that mono slope of the gym itself, trying to minimize height at the low end with as minimal slope of roof as possible. And then the banquet hall meeting rooms opening up to the north. Rotating the other way here. And then running the section long ways through the building, again, just showing the courts and the racetrack. And then lastly, we don't want to throw too much at everyone, but we have put a lot of thought into the interior of the facility as well. But instead of showing renderings, we just wanted to show some of the inspiration of what we're looking at in terms of materiality and theme, making use of the woods and warm materials on the inside and exposing the structure as much as possible is kind of our approach. Here you can see just a few examples of this in other facilities. Obviously, it will be very specific to our building once we get on the inside, but just to get an idea of where we're headed on the interior. So appreciate, again, everyone's time here and look forward to comments and discussion.
Just be careful when you make a comment. Money goes up, so. No, I think it looks great. I'm obviously I've been part of this process up to date till now, so I don't have any questions or comments Anybody down there? Vice Mayor?
I just have a question as to the meeting rooms. Is there an outside access to them individually?
Yes. So there will be access off that north side. Again, those are required for egress for emergency exit regardless. So there will be exterior access. How that actually functions, whether or not it will be locked most likely most times of the year, but during certain events, there will be that kind of indoor-outdoor access there.
Anybody else got any?
Beautiful building and looks good. Yeah, I like the design.
Anybody down there? Councilman Whipple, are you still with us?
I'm still with you.
Just want to make sure, past probably everybody's bedtime. I think it looks great. I'm excited to move forward, so appreciate all your hard work. Very professional run meeting, almost like one of my meetings, very professional run meetings, so appreciate your guys' hard work, that's for sure. Okay.
Mayor, I do have one question.
Okay.
Sorry. So what are the steps from here? You know, I'm sorry, I meant to ask that earlier. What
Very
are
good.
the steps from here?
So basically, as Shane mentioned, there's 4 steps to the process: programming, schematic design, design development, and construction documents. This is essentially the end of programming. So assuming we get approval tonight, we'll move on to the schematic design phase, which is where we basically get to what is basically 30% complete drawings. As I mentioned, we will be back roughly in a month to review pricing of this design as we showed, so that we can get an idea of where we're at and what needs to change, if anything. But basically, from here on out, we're basically developing the drawings at a 30% level, 60, 90, and then 100. We are splitting the site and building packages into separate things come June, July, but that's kind of later down the road. But those are the next steps.
So I'm sorry.
You're fine.
So
Give me a few seconds.
we go forward, when's it go to bid? When, if we go forward with this, when to go to bid? When do we break ground? What are we looking at for those?
Yeah, so don't quote me because I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I believe that the site package goes out to bid in July with a start in the fall of some sort. And then the building package follows a month or so behind that. And I believe that piece starts in October or November of next year. Again, don't quote me on that, but I have the schedule. That's pretty close.
Vice Mayor.
I have another question on the building.
Yep.
Where the heating and cooling elements are that are recessed in the roof, how is that handled for snow removal and that type of thing?
So it'll be sloped. It'll be just like they're sitting outside. You basically treat the roof just like the ground that it's sitting on. And there will be openings for what those fins were basically openings that we have to provide for outside air anyways. So it'll be basically like they're sitting on the ground outside from that perspective, so.
And, just a quick comment. I know this doesn't have a lot, well, it does moving forward, but I talked to Shane earlier about some of the areas, or I don't know if I talked to Shane. I don't remember who I talked to about some of the areas, even that open area in the roof. Maybe we want to put some kind of a heat treatment so the snow melts, and then maybe on the north side of the building. So we'll get to that part, but I think that's something that we need to look to in the future too, to make sure if water does get in that open area that's fenced in, is it going to melt? I mean, so we might think about putting something in there. I don't know nothing about how to melt snow and concrete, but I'm sure somebody can figure it out.
And to your point, that's basically that that percentage is about developing the detail and figuring those types of things out. So that's the type of information that will happen over the next 6-7 months, is developing those details and how things function like that, so.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll look for a motion to move forward. Somebody.
So moved.
So what? I need you to read the motion. You can so move it, but let's go and do it official. Councilman Adams, you got it?
I got it down here.
Okay.
I move to approve programming conceptual design for the Sholo Sports and Event Center and direct the design team to begin schematic design phase of the pre-construction contract City of Sholo project number FM-4625.
Got a motion, got a second by Councilman Whipple. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Thank you again. Appreciate coming up, Chris. Thanks, Shane. Great job. Okay, next item on the agenda is summary of current events.
I'd just like to thank staff and Rick and Mikey and all those who have put the lights up around town. I've gotten a lot of comments, how amazing it looks, and I just want to thank them. If you see them, thank them. They put a lot of work into making Shola look really good right now, and all the staff does. So I'm just really proud of how Shola looks right now, and I want to thank them for what they've done.
Absolutely. Vice Mayor.
I agree with that. And quick story, my mother-in-law, we just moved her up into Solterra, and a bunch of the members of the Solterra community went on a tour, and they went up to Pine Top, and they weren't finding any lights, that they didn't have to get out of the bus and walk in the cold. So they came to Shola, and man, was she proud. And I am certainly proud of our staff and police department, public works, Mikey, everybody, for all the great job you do, all of you, the pride that you take in your jobs. I was really thrilled to see the crews out there putting up the lights, and they were all dressed in elf suits and a Santa outfit. It was the coolest thing ever. Merry Christmas, everybody.
I'll ditto that. I've gotten a lot of compliments of how well it looks, and I appreciate the effort that's gone into that. So thank you.
Yeah, I ditto everything that was said. I actually called Rick this morning because I was so proud when Saturday night, the parade and walking around town and people just saying great things about Shola and about the decoration. So I called Rick and just said, by the way, are you hearing what everybody's saying? And he does. He hears it, and he follows social media, and he's absolutely, our staff is amazing because they're probably more proud than we are. They can't wait for next year. I talked to him today, and he said, wait till next year. It's like, okay, I'll let everybody know. So Christmas destination in Arizona, Shola, we're going to make it happen. All right, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yes, we are very proud of our staff, and they've done a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of good events coming up during the holidays here. Just want to mention a few. That the Shola Family Aquatic Center is hosting a Holly Jolly Christmas pool party on December 12th. Cost is $5 per person. You can get more information at 532-4130. The library has a Polar Express night on December 13th at 3. You have to get tickets for that. They're available at the library on a first-come, first-served basis. You can call 532-4070 for more information. There's also a flashlight candy cane hunt at the senior field at City Park on Thursday, December 18th. That's for kids ages 12 and under. The Christmas tree trail is going on right now through December 27th at the Shola Meadow. And our final event of the year is the Deuce of Clubs drop on New Year's Eve in front of the public library. That begins at about 11 p.m., where they drop the giant card and have the fireworks at midnight. I just wanted to mention our community fast. That's officially ended, but we'll still accept donations to help any of our fellow citizens in need at this holiday season. You can contribute through December at the City Hall or at the local banks, National Bank, Chase, and Arizona Central Credit Union. And after the holidays, once you want to recycle your Christmas tree from December 26th through Sunday, January 11th, you can drop it off. You have to remove all the decorations and lights. They're at the Frontier Field parking lot. That's north of the Deuce of Clubs on 9th Place. We take the trees from there to Novo Power and Snowflake to use as biomass fuel. And then, just as everybody's mentioned, this is our last regular council meeting for 2025. We want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a safe and happy holidays. We'll see you back in the new year.
Thank you, City Manager. You're going to have to tell my wife she can't go to candy cane hunt. 12 and under, I'm not doing it. She had plans to go, but if she can't go, you're going to have to tell her. Ditto. Merry Christmas, everybody. Be safe. God bless. Pray for a white Christmas. We need the moisture. Schedule our meetings.
Again, as mentioned, we're going to try to do a meeting on January 6th just to receive the report from the on the Sports and Event Center for the cost model there. We might have one or two other things on the agenda that night as well.
Okay, you'll let us know what time we're starting?
Yeah, it'll be a regular meeting,
Oh, okay.
on January 6th.
Okay, sounds good. At this time, I'll entertain a motion, to go into executive session. We'll discuss or consider for legal advice our city attorney.
To go into executive session.
I got a motion by the vice mayor, second by Councilman Hatch. All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you guys very much. We appreciate your attendance and be safe.